Hello everyone. So in this lecture we'll see what is cyclic group and we'll see the properties of cyclic group also. Okay guys, so let us begin with the cyclic group. So we'll see what is cyclic group. So write down the definition of cyclic group. So we'll see what is cyclic group. So write down the definition of cyclic group. We can say that a group, first of all, a cyclic group is what? Group. So a group, let's say G comma star, that is the given group. It's said to be cyclic group. It's said to be cyclic group if there exists an element A belongs to group G such that yes, G is equals to A raised to power n, where n belongs to set of integers. What does it mean? Yes, we can say that G equals to A raised to power n such that n belongs to the set of integers. Then we can say that the given group is cyclic group also. That means what we can say that yes, G can be written like that. That means A raised to power n will produce all the elements of the group G. Then G is called as cyclic group. Meaning is what? G equals to A raised to power n, where n is positive. We can say that n is integer, set of integer. So we can say that take any value of n, integer value of n, and if we are able to get the original group, or we can say that all elements of the group, then G is said to be cyclic. So nothing else, just we will be having some examples, and based on that example, you will be able to understand easily what is the meaning of cyclic group. That is, in another way, we can say that every element of G can be written as A raised to power n for some integer n, isn't it? Where A is called as what? A is called generator of group, cyclic group G. So A is known as what? Generator, isn't it? So what is the meaning of cyclic group? So yes, let us take one example, and from that example we will be able to see whether the group is cyclic or not, isn't it? So let us take one example. Let's say same example I'm considering. So I have taken this example many times. Let's say this is one group EABC containing 4 elements in the form of Cayley table. It is given to you. Let's say this is given BCEA and final one is CEAB, isn't it? So you know this one is a well-known group. Yes, I already discussed this example many times. Now we'll see whether this one is cyclic or not. First of all, that must be a group. Any we can say that algebraic structure must be a group first of all. After that, we'll see whether that one is cyclic or not. So whenever any question is there, whether this algebraic structure is a cyclic group or not. So first of all, we will check whether the given algebraic structure is a group or not. After group, we'll see whether it is cyclic or not. Or if it is given that check whether this group is cyclic or not, that means that is the given group. If the group is given to you, then we can check directly whether that is cyclic or not, isn't it? So you only tell me, yes, so just we can say that in the previous lecture we see here order of identity element is what? Always 1. Here order of A is what? 4. Order of B is what? That is 2. Order of C is what? That is 4. We discussed same example I discussed in the last video. In the last lecture I discussed this example and how to find the order of an element, isn't it? Now we'll see what is the meaning of, yes, in the definition we can see, yes, what was the definition of cyclic group. Yes, we can say that G can be written like that or not, a raised to power n, such that n belongs to set of integers where a is a, we can say that a is the element of the given group, isn't it? Now you only tell me what is the meaning of that one. Let's say here also let us consider one element, that is a. Now you only tell me a raised to power 1 is what? That is a square, a star a. From the table you can see a star a is what? That is b. A cube is what? That is a star a square. And a star a square is what? B. A star b will be what? C. A power 4 will be what? A star a cube. That is a star c. A star c is what? That is identity element. Isn't it? Okay. Now you only tell me, yes, we are raising the power of an element A and we got all the elements of the group or not? Yes, we got A, we got B, we got C, as well as we got the identity element. That means when we raise the powers of integral powers of an element A in this given group, then all elements of the group are generated. That's why we can say that this group is cyclic, isn't it? So here we can say that a raised to power 1 is a square is b, a cube is c, a raised to power 4 is e. So we can say that all elements a, b, c, e are generated with the element a when we raise the integral power of a. That's why this group is what? Cyclic, isn't it? Cyclic. Now you only tell me that is cyclic group. Okay, where generator is what? We can say that A is the generator, isn't it? Now let us take for C whether B is generator or not. So let's say B raised to power 1 is what? B. B square is what? Identity element. B cube will be what? Again B. B raised to power 4 will be again identity element. So whether all the elements of the group are generated or not? No, that's why we can say that B is not a generator. If at least one generator is there, then that group is known as what? Cyclic, isn't it? Now check for C. Let's say C raised to power 1 is C. C square is what? C star C, that is B. Then C cube is what? C cube. C star C square, that is C star B. And C star B is what? That is A. And C raised to power 4 is C star C cube. Then C star C cube is what? C cube is A. And C star A is identity element. Here also we can say that all elements of the group are generated, A, B, C as well as E, with the help of C. So we can say that C is also a generator. Yes or no? So here two generators are there, A and C, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Remember, identity element cannot be the generator of any cyclic group because E raised to power 1 is E. E square, that is E star E, is always E. E cube is also E, isn't it? So we can say that yes, identity element cannot be the, yes, we can say that generator if we can say that that group has at least two elements. If any group is there that contains only one element, that is identity element, then we can say that yes, that is the generator. But in all other remaining cases, that means when the group has at least two elements, then we can say that identity element can never be the generator of any cycle, isn't it? So here some observations are there, or we can say that some properties are there. We'll see one by one. First one, let's say in this particular example, A is the generator of this cyclic group, then its inverse will also be the generator of this cyclic. So here A is the generator, and we know here inverse of A is what? C. So C will also be the generator of this cyclic, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Next thing, what is the order of this given group? Order of this given group is 4. So guaranteed any generator will also have the order equals to order of the group, isn't it? Why? Because order of the group is 4, then any generator must have order equals to 4, because when we will raise the powers of that particular generator, then we will take the power 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then identity element will come, isn't it? Then we can say that again same cycle will happen, a5, a6, a7, again a8 will give the identity element. So we can say that this rotation will goes 4 times. So we can say that that will be every time some element will be generated, and 4 times 4 different elements will be generated. So we can say that yes, this is both way. Any element in a group has order equals to order of a group, then guaranteed that element will be the, yes, generator of that particular group, and group will be what? Cyclic group, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So next one we can say that here generator is A, order is 4, generator is C, order of 4, and the order of the group is also 4. So we can say that generator always have the order equals to the order of the group, isn't it? If any element has less than the order of the group, then guaranteed that element cannot be the, yes, generator of that particular or cycle, isn't it? Okay. So yes, from here we can conclude that if A is the generator, then its inverse will also be the generator, and the generator has the order equals to the order of the group, isn't it? Now, can we say that any cyclic group has at least two? Let us consider this question. Let's say check true or false. Check true or false. Any cyclic group has at least two generator. This statement is true or false? Yes, we can say that this statement is false only. Why? Because sometimes what happens, let's say one element is the generator, and by chance the inverse of that particular element is itself, yes or no, same element. In that particular case, we can say that one generator is also possible, isn't it? So we cannot say that at least two generators will be there. Yes, one generator will also be very much possible when inverse of that particular element is the same element, isn't it? So be careful. So first point in the properties you can write down. First point, order of the generator of a cyclic group is same as the order of cyclic group. If an element is generator of the cyclic group, then its inverse will also be the generator of the group, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Next one, let's say this group is what? Cyclic. So one more property is there. Every cyclic group is an abelian group. So next one, yes, you can write down the third property. If a group is a cyclic, then it is abelian group also. Be careful, this is one way property. If a group is cyclic, then it is abelian group also. But remember, we cannot say that every abelian group is cyclic. No, if any group is cyclic, then guaranteed that will be abelian. But we cannot say that abelian group will be cyclic, isn't it? So remember, this is implication. P implies Q. If a group is cyclic, then it is abelian, isn't it? Next one, write down one more question. Let's say a group with order 16 is given, then check whether the group is cyclic or not. That is the question. If so, then find out the number of generators. Find out the number of generators. That is the question. So remember guys, now yes, I already discussed the properties. So we can say that any element has order equals to order of the group, then guaranteed that group will be the cyclic and that element will be the generator. Because if any element has order equals to the we can say that order equals to the order of the group, then guaranteed that will be the cyclic group and that element will be the generator of that particular cyclic. So one correction is there. Let's say a group with order 16, instead of 16 you can write down, let's say that is 70. A group with order equals to 70 is given. Check whether the group is cyclic or not. So we know very well 17 is the prime number, so it is divisible by 1 or itself. So all elements will be having either order equals to 1 or 17. So identity element will have order equals to 1 and remaining 16 elements will be having order equals to 17, that is equal to the order of the group, isn't it? So we can say that yes, here 16 elements, we need only one. But here 16 elements has order equals to 17, that means order equals to the order of the group. That's why we can say that yes, of course, that is cyclic group. Now, yes, here 16 elements are there which has order equals to the order of the group. Then we can say that each of these 16 elements will be what? Generator. So how many generator will be there? 16 generators will be there. So correct answer will be what? 16. Yes, that group is cyclic group and the number of generators will be how many? 16. Isn't it? Because remaining 16 elements will be having order equals to 17. Why? Because 17 divides 17 also, or also we see in this property that the order of an element divides the order of the group. So 16 elements will be having order equals to 17. So we can say that yes, 16 generators will be there. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Right now, next example, let's say, let us consider next example. Let's say example number 1. Let's say one algebraic structure Z on addition is given, is cyclic group or not? That is the question. If so, means if it is, then find out the generators. Then find out the generators. Now you only tell me. Yes, we can say that. Yes, we already seen this one is what? Well-known group. Yes, we can say that all the properties of the group will be satisfied. It is, we can say that closed, associative, having identity element that is 0 and inverse of every element exists. That's why we can say that that is group. Now we'll see whether this is cyclic group or not. Now you only tell me. Cyclic group means generator must generate all the elements of this particular group, that is all the integers. Then that particular element is said to be generator. Let us consider one example. Let's say 1. Let's say one element 1 that is belonging to the same group, yes or no? So 1 raised to power 1 will be 1. 1 square will be what? 1 plus 1, that is 2. 1 cube will be what? We can say that 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3, and so on. Similarly, if we raise the negative powers, what is the inverse of 1? Minus 1. Now, what is the 1 raised to power minus 2? 1 raised to power minus 2 means inverse of 1 plus inverse of 1, and inverse of 1 is what? 1 minus 1, and minus 1 plus minus 1 will be equals to minus 2. Similarly, 1 power minus 3 will be what? 1 inverse plus 1 inverse plus 1 inverse. Now 1 inverse is what? Minus 1. Again this is minus 1. Again this is minus 1. So we can say that minus 3. Yes, minus 3. And so on. If we see, all the negative integers will be produced. Now 1 raised to power 0 is always, any element raised to power 0 will always be the identity element, that is 0 for this group. So we can say that 0 is generated, all the positive integers are also generated, all negative integers are also generated. That means entire group is generated if we raise the powers of element 1, integral powers of element 1. So we can say that yes, this is cyclic group, and we can say that generator is what? 1. If generator is 1, then its inverse will also be the generator, and inverse of 1 is what? Minus. So here two generators are there, 1 and minus 1. I hope this one is clear to everyone, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. So let us take one more example. Let's say one group is given to you. Group is given, that is, let's say G comma star, or let's say G on multiplication, where G is what? Square root of unity. So we know square root of unity are what? 1 and minus 1, plus 1 and minus 1. That means ultimately this algebraic structure is given, whether this is cyclic group or not. Cyclic group or not. Now, yes, this finite group is given, so try to make the Cayley table, that is plus 1, that is minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, that is multiplication, the 1, this is minus 1, this is minus 1, this is plus 1. So here you can check easily, this is what? Closed as well as associative. Yes, identity element is what? Yes, here we can say that, yes, we can say that which one is the identity element? Yes, take any element, let's say 1 into minus 1 will be what? Minus 1. And 1, we can say that into 1 will be what? 1. That means we can say that here identity element is what? 1. Because you can take any element, A star AE will be what? A only. So from that we can conclude identity element is 1. Isn't it? Now, yes, other than identity element, minus 1 is there. Now you only tell me whether this is cyclic or not. So let us take minus 1 raised to power 1, that is minus 1. And minus 1 whole square will be what? Minus 1 into minus 1. That is, we can say that plus 1. So we can say that both the elements are generated with the help of minus 1. So we can say that yes, the given group is cyclic group with the generator, yes, minus 1. Because if we raise the integral powers of minus 1, then all the elements of this particular group are generated. That's why we can say that minus 1 is the generator of this particular group. Isn't it? So I hope this one is clear to everyone. Next one, let's say same example is there. Instead of G is, we can say that square root of unity, let's say that is cube root of unity. Cube root of unity. So we can say that, let's say cube root of unity are what? 1 omega omega square, and algebraic structure is given to you G on multiplication. So we can say that three elements are there, 1 omega omega square, and binary operation is what? Multiplication, that is 1 into 1. 1 into omega is omega, 1 into omega square is omega square, this is omega square, and this is omega cube. So remember one property, omega cube is what? 1. So this is 1, then this is omega square, this is omega cube again 1, and this is omega power 4, and omega power 4 can be written like this or not? So omega dot 1, that is omega, so this one will be the omega 1. That will be the, we can say that Cayley table. So you can check out, this one is a well-known group. So we need to check whether this is cyclic or not, and if it is cyclic, then find out the generator source, isn't it? So yes, we can say that, let's say omega raised to power 1 is what? Omega. Omega square is what? That is omega square. Omega cube is what? We can say that, yes, that is 1. So we can say that all the elements of the group are generated. That's why we can say that this is cyclic group as well. Cyclic group. So if it is cyclic group, so generator is what? Omega. And if omega is generator, then its inverse will also be the generator. And from here we can say that in this particular example, identity element is 1. For multiplication, here also you can see. So we can say that omega into omega square will be identity element. That means inverse of omega is what? Omega square. So omega square will also be the generator. You can check, you can verify easily. Omega square raised to power 1 will be what? Omega square. Omega square raised to power 2 will be what? Omega power 4, that is omega dot omega cube, that is omega. Omega square whole cube will be what? Omega raised to power 6, that is omega cube dot omega cube, that is 1 dot 1, that is 1. So we can say that omega square omega 1, all the elements of the group are generated. That's why we can say that omega square will also be a generator of this particular cycle. So we can generalize, yes, this one, yes, square root of unity is also a cyclic group under multiplication. Remember, yes, this binary operation must be multiplication. Cube root of unity will also be a cyclic group. So we can generalize nth root of unity under multiplication will also be a cyclic, isn't it? So write down, yes, nth root of unity under multiplication, this algebraic structure is always cyclic, isn't it? So I hope this one is clear to everyone, isn't it? Okay guys, so that's all about, we can say that, cyclic group and its properties. So in the next lecture we'll see what is subgroup, what is normal subgroup and all. I hope this one is clear to you guys. Okay, thank you so much.